Hello to everyone and welcome to another update on the market. For today, I decided to cover Euro versus US dollar. I will speak about the gold market, crude oil, and Bitcoin versus US dollar. I will start first with the Euro versus US dollar. This is the hourly time frame, and what we can see here is that we had a breakout of this important pivot. So we mentioned it here that this will be a very important pivot to watch. I mentioned that yesterday. So market tried to sell off, but it didn't actually break this rising trend line, and market got had this upside breakout. This morning during the Tokyo session, we had a retest, and then more buyers did join from here, and we got a new rally, a new higher high. So what we have here so far, some of the objectives to the upside. In case of the upside continuation, we can see that we have 1.0690 mark. The rising trend line, the new one we have here. So as long this is trading and we don't have a major breakdown back to this consolidation and below this rising trend line, as long this is the case, the chance is that we can continue higher towards this high around 1.0690. Now, second scenario, let's say scenario for the downside, in case if we can really go and break this 1.0590, hold below, this can be a good a chance for the retest of 1.0545 or even 535 mark. So that's alternative scenario, just if in case of some downside break of this rising trend line and this most recent low. Now, speaking of the gold market, this is quite interesting because what we had here, this major high, market tried to break here, this ascending triangle. And we can see that market actually is, during the overnight session, almost tested this rising trend line, reacted up. But this can also be the fake breakout. So for me, nothing changed since the previous forecast. Anything meaningful to the upside, I would like to see the break and hold above 2010. So something like this, and then to hold above in order for this to go potentially to 2050 level. Because if that's not the case, if we can break this downside, eventually even clear 1977, 1976 and hold below, this can also be like a fake breakout of this ascending triangle. And then this can lead to the retest of the low around 1953. So those are the scenarios that I'm observing on the gold market. Now, speaking of the crude oil is trading near the support zone, and we can see here that we have a level 81.75 and around 82.50 level. So crude oil is just around that pivot. Now, anything meaningful to the downside, of course, the major breakdown below the, let's say, 81 mark. And if we can hold below, this could be a good sign for the further downside movement, maybe even towards the 78 mark. Now, if that's not the case, if we can see potentially maybe, let's see, this most recent supply trend line. If we see the breakout and hold above, then there is a potential for the retest of 86.50 mark, and then more like a rotation and building this consolidation further. So those are the two scenarios, one for up, one for down, that I'm observing on the crude oil. And Bitcoin versus US dollar, still after this major upside, like this impulsive upside move, still this market is in a heavy consolidation already for a couple of days, with the resistance at 35,150 and the support around 32,980. Anything meaningful to the downside, the break below and hold potentially towards the 30,500 or 30,000 mark. Anything meaningful to the upside, I would like to break out of 35,200 and hold above for potential 37,000 to be on the test, or even 38,000 mark. So that will be all for this update, guys. I hope that you did enjoy. Have a good day, and speak to you from tomorrow morning.